Hello. Good evening, I should say. Welcome to the Thursday evening stream. I lost a little bit of time getting ready, trying to figure out. Okay, so I started the Tour de Fleece for me July 1st. That was when the Tour de France started. A lot of people stick to the true Tour de France schedule. And if that's true, you would have 21 streams. However, I streamed during the rest days. I'm basically streaming every day, right? So I am not like anywhere near the whatever it is for this day of the Tour de France, right? The number. And it gets confusing anyway because they always skip. They don't count the rest days. And because I don't like the fact they don't count the rest days, I decided I would do every day, count every day. And so when I'm typing 20, it makes it sound like the Tour de France is going to be over tomorrow, which of course it's not. And it also makes it sound like there's way more streams than the 3 weeks, which is 21 days. I can't quite figure that one out because that would be tomorrow, which is 3 weeks. But I'm going to go on longer because of the 2 days we missed. I'm going to go on 2 days longer. I get it. I get it. I'm just saying. Probably you don't even see this, although I don't know what pops up on the alerts when I go live and everything. But if you do, don't think I'm all crazy that I don't know what the Tour de France is doing. This is my personal tour, and it's the Tour de Fleece. So, there. Now I've explained that. I have been uploading, okay, I have some photos uploaded into Shutterfly, and my whole thing was I wanted to get a picture for my screen. Let's see here if I can do this, because it was on my phone. Hopefully I'm still signed in. I usually am. Okay, photos are not there. Where are photos? I love it when they pick some of your stuff. They changed their layout here. Oh, photos. There it is. They put your picture on the mug and everything, and I'm like, well, now that looks pretty good. Alright, so we're going to download this one. I got a couple of my very pregnant cat who isn't very pregnant anymore and lost her kittens. Okay. I should have that downloaded. So, I'll put this down and let me go to the download folder. It shouldn't be all that hard. Let me rename this. So I've named this the Black and White Study, and there's the fiber. Cool. Alright, it's on my desk. Oops. I didn't lose it. Okay. It's on my desktop, so now I need to go to this one, where my spinning wheel is. I am currently spinning the white. The camera's not really good on there. All you see is my book down there. There we go. I was messing around on my desk all day today. I probably bumped it. Oh, come on. I still don't like it. Do it right here. turned around facing it when I get going here. Okay. Okay, we got. I got a copy. How did I do this? Photo, image. That's how I did it. Add source. New. Nope, that didn't work. Alright, let's do it this way. Let's go to the desktop. Oh man, I can't remember how I did this. Copy. Oh, enter the name of the source. Oh, wait. Maybe I want to do it this way. Okay. I figured it out. Sorry about that. Alright. Here we go. Yep. I've got it. It's going to be... Oh, it didn't work. Oh, I hit the... Hang on here. I have to make it little. It's huge. Isn't this fun? Let's get there. Ta-da! Fiber. Okay. That's the way my whole day has been. I have only a little bit of complaining to do. Today was one of those days where I did a lot of things that took, each one had a lot of time. It involved phone calls. It just one of those things where you're being an adult, you're handling things that, you know, maybe you've put off. And I'm very big about that sometimes. I really do, unfortunately, put things off. So, anyway, I tried to handle some of that today. One of the things was just an email, but it's a very frustrating email because I have a bracelet that I purchased, a pretty inexpensive bracelet. And it broke, and I've been in contact with the jeweler because it's been less than a year. There's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't repair this. They haven't said anything about charging me, but you know, at this point in time, I can't wear the bracelet. So I have been phoning several times, and I don't get, when I call the phone call, I get the people who sell the jewelry, and they're not going to help me. They say, please contact by email this address, and it's customer service, and the person has a name, and I have been emailing, and today again, 2 weeks ago, maybe it was like June 28th, right? customer service said that they would be contacting the manufacturer tomorrow, right? So that would have been in June. And here it is July, not heard anything about, are they sending me a box for me to send it back? Or am I going to send it to the manufacturer? Nothing. So, that was one thing. The second thing was, we bought a new coffee pot. It's exactly the same as our old one. That's no problem. But it needed cleaned. We're going to take the old one down to my mom's house, so it needed cleaned. And the cleaning is a number of process steps, where you run the cleaner through it and a number of waters. And so I was getting the new pot set up. I was getting the cleaning going for that. I cleaned this other one. I'm letting it dry out. I got to pack it up in a box. I haven't done that yet, to take to mom's. The third thing was our printer. For quite a few months now, the way the HP printer works, they do an instant ink program. So the printer connects itself to HP. HP knows your ink levels. And for $2 a month billing on my credit card, if and when I run out of ink, they send me ink. Don't pay extra, don't pay shipping, right? That's what they call instant ink. And I've never liked it. I did not know we were going to get into this when I bought this printer. I went out, I bought the printer a number of years ago. It's older, but it's, connected by, I don't know, Bluetooth, I guess, or internet. I think it's connected through the internet. I know it's connected to the internet because I had to sign it in to our internet. So it's connected by internet, and it talks to our old computer because the old computer is also on internet. I'm on internet, but I'm on a landline. I have a physical plug-in for my internet work because of streaming. And so my printer doesn't talk to the new computer, this one, right? So that was the first thing I ran into that I didn't like. Then I ran out of ink, and I went to the store where I bought the printer, and they went, we don't sell that ink. And I said, why don't you sell that? Well, you have to contact HP to get it. I mean, the same place I bought the printer. And so when I contacted HP, they set me up on this program where they take the $2 a month on my credit card and, every 6 months send me a cartridge because I use it so little, right? I really need to go buy a new printer, but I'm terrified to. I get a printer that talks to anything. I told hubby I was going to go in and talk to the Geek Squad about it and see if I could blow their mind. They'd probably look at me and say, just buy 2 new computers. And I would, maybe, but I wanted to make sure a printer is working with it before I walk out the door with it and plunk down the credit card. Cheers. I am drinking a beer. We had Mexican for supper, and one of the breweries that we like is in Lexington, called West 6th, because it's on West 6th Street. And they make a Mexican lager. And it's decent. Hubby doesn't like it. He won't drink it, but it's decent. I like it. It's crisp and clean and nice summer beer. I got to thinking while I was getting ready to go on and stream and everything, I got to thinking about, I wonder if anybody has beer parties, or do beer reviews. There's a lot of beer review podcasts, and that's couple of people who are sitting there tasting beer, doing review of it, and I'll do a couple of them. And I used to listen to those, but I haven't listened to them for a while. But there's a lot of podcasts that way. But I went on Twitch, and then when I was on Twitch, I typed in beer review, and there's one beer review stream that hasn't streamed for 6 months. So I guess they ran out of beer money. I don't know. So I'm thinking, like, why can't we have a drinking party? Everybody grab something and talk about it, and I don't know. This doesn't seem to happen on Twitch. Maybe it's supposed to be, that's not considered child friendly. Maybe depends what you talk about, right? Okay. And to add on top of everything else, because I knew I was streaming tonight, I went back to bed at 7 o'clock after I got up and fed the cat so he'd quit bothering me. And I slept till 9:30. I guess I was really tired. We did go out last night. I'll talk about that later. I want to get spinning, though. The truth is, all I want to do is spin. So, I got on my light pants. I'm going to put the towel over them. I'm sure especially when I spin the black, it would just make a mess on there. I'm still picking off the pink maroon that I spun off this towel. It really needs to go in the wash, but I keep forgetting to do that. Okay, gotta get some fiber first. So I call this the black and white study because the ultimate goal is to spin 4 bobbins, 2 black and 2 white, and do a 4 single chain ply yarn. It may totally not work, and it may totally be awesome. I have no idea. That's why I'm doing it. Halfway through the first white. I did not spin at all since yesterday's stream. I streamed, then we basically went into town and ran a whole bunch of errands, and went out to eat. And by the time I drove home, because we went pretty far afield, we weren't real close. By the time I drove home, it was 10:30. I wasn't going to come in here and spin at that point. So I didn't get done what I wanted to do yesterday. Where'd the music go? A little concerned. I'm using a new Chill Hop channel. Let's see how it goes. It's very quiet. At least it sounds quiet to me. We went to see a movie. That was the big thing yesterday. It was great. It was the Indiana Jones movie. Really enjoyed it. we walk out of the movie. That's why we were eating kind of late. But we walked out of the movie, and hubby says, "That was a good movie." I didn't like the ending. And I said, "You say that every single movie." He does. He's, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the way it ended. I don't know if he just doesn't want movies to end or what, but I was like, how can you not like an ending? Any ending, He gets home, he's with his wife, They're not going to kill him off yet. Yay! There's the bunny sticker, and it works. I'm doing good, Holly. How are you doing? Almost Friday. Do you open your shop on Thursdays or just weekends? I forget. I probably asked you before, but I forget. I actually like to see it. Oh, you did it again. Thank you. I saw it. I love that bunny. Right now you open most Saturdays and some Sundays. Oh, that's nice. It's right there then, yeah. So I'm going to continue my story about my printer. My printer that, and Holly, you may not know the backstory, but that's all right. I got a printer that doesn't talk to the computer I'm on and talks to the old computer, but it talks to it through the internet. So it's by HP, and so HP wants the printer signed on into the internet, connected with the internet, so it can monitor the ink, because they do an instant ink program where for $2 a month. They charge my credit card $2 a month every month, but whenever I need ink, I'm supposed to receive ink when the cartridge goes empty, because quote unquote they know it's empty because the printer has told it that. It hasn't worked well every time, pretty much, because I cannot keep that printer online, right, on the internet. It gets totally messed up, and I have to call them and I have to say I need ink. I need black ink. And I mean, the printer works, but I had no cartridges. I had old cartridges from a different printer. I thought they might work. I put it in there and tried. That didn't work. So I called them today. I said, I don't know why I don't have a cartridge, but I need one, and I got printing to do. And he says, well, just go ahead and take the cartridge out. And it'll recognize that you're only on one cartridge, the color, and it'll print it. I was like, oh, well, I'm glad I knew that. So, 2 things I learned out of that. I could just continue using color, because I have another color cartridge, but they are sending me one. I mean, I haven't canceled I stayed on the program, which is another thing. It's so easy, once you sign up for stuff like that, to just not cancel it. I went through, the last couple weeks, I went through and wrote down all our streaming services. I have a Craftsy. Are you familiar with Craftsies? Craftsy, where you watch classes. I have that. I have a lot of subscription things, and so I made notes of. I watched the different streaming services for different things, so I made notes of which one to get all the watching done, and then get rid of it, and then get the next one, and I'm going to start working through that. So I don't just, let's see, I don't want to watch this today. No, I have a goal now of eliminating some of these streaming services. And, I just realized, okay, there's something else, the HP ink. I totally forgot that they're taking it out. It's through my Prime bill. It's on my Amazon Prime. And trust me, that Prime bill is big enough that a $2 charge, I hardly notice, right? Hey, hello. Okay, Holly. I'll see you when you get back. Hi, Veggie. Talking about, you heard about all these things you pay for and maybe use and maybe don't use. And I'm trying to get a handle on that. It's my goal for this year. Get things watched and get rid of the service if I'm not watching it. Oh, alright. You guys, I don't know if this is going to work. I saw something on Twitch. I hope this isn't can't be it was Twitch sending it to me through a direct message, so, but let's see what this does. There it is. Ah, so cute. I got a Dino Dance. That is, I had semicolon Dino Dance semicolon, but I didn't get the second Maybe I just need to do Dino Dance. Nope. I have to have a colon, I guess. Yeah, isn't that cute? Did you do 2 colons? Or just 1 colon? Or he's so cute! I don't know if that's just Twitch being happy for a little bit and it'll go away. But that makes me happy. I don't have just the first one. We'll search for any emotes with the characters in that chat box. Okay, cool. I don't have my light on my spinning, so it's a little dark tonight because I have my AeroGarden plugged in and it's in its cycle, so I didn't want to shut it off. I keep shutting it off to turn my light on for the stream, and then I forget to turn the AeroGarden back on. And the pump runs when the light's on, so I need it to keep the water circulating. And 2, there's no plants up yet, but the light probably helps them start too. I am growing leafy greens. I harvested 18 little cells of it for salads, but this time I'm doing 3 big ones, so I'll get big. Oh, I have green. I have some up. What about this one? No. What is it up yet? Okay. What did I do? Spinach, red leaf lettuce, and leaf lettuce. I did those 3 this time. I mean, they're like microgreens. I mean, it's really cool. When you use the 18-hole thing, that is a seed starter, so it was really crowded. And I just cut everything and then put the 3-hole one in with just 3 lettuces. It's way too hot to grow lettuces outside right now. I'm growing cucumbers, beans, and tomatoes in my garden right now, but this is a way to get some greens. But the other microgreens, the first out of the 18 I had chard, spinach, not endive, kale, several lettuces. So I got quite a nice salad out of that. A couple salads. After I get tired of growing I'll start trying some herbs. Some of the low-growing herbs, like, dill won't work, it's way too tall, that kind of thing. So some of the lower-growing herbs. Parsley works. What I do is start them and put them in a pot then and get them larger for cutting. I have 3 cotton plants on the porch. 2 are in one pot and 1 is in a pot by itself. It was two different growings, but the 2 that I put out later, just planted a couple weeks ago, 2 in the one pot. They're way larger than the single one. It seems to be stunted some from, I guess maybe it was kind of cold when we first put our plants out on the porch for cotton. You love your AeroGarden? It needs a deep clean. Last time you used it, it ended up growing algae. Yeah. I know, but mine is kind of small. It's the smallest model they make. I mean, there's whopping big ones. My daughter's is big enough. She's got a tomato that's been in there for a year. It's a little grape tomato, those little round tomatoes, but she's had it in that for a year. I said, how do you get tomatoes? I said, you don't have anything to fertilize it. She says, oh, when it blooms, I just go pet the blooms a little bit and go back and forth. And so she's doing the pollinating. Dill worked for yours? You can adjust the height. Yeah, I can't. Okay. Use mine for herbs of the leaf kind. You made so much pesto. Do you like it? I like basil, but I don't like pesto because it is just too. It's just too much. But ooh, I like dried basil, oregano in my pasta sauces. I have a big pot of oregano on my kitchen windowsill. I have 2 pots of 2 different kinds of parsley outside. Let's see. I have a huge I don't use it very often. Not marjoram, that's not right. Huh, can't think of it right now. And an herb we grow called sweet woodruff for Maywine. I've talked about that before. I have a pot of that inside. But everything else is outside in pots. I made a list of the herbs I have out there, but it's on the dining room table. I don't have it with me. I did that because I have no memory. My memory is just terrible. I have frozen herbs instead of drying them. I have done that. I don't care for it as much. It's okay in some ways, but I really prefer to dry them. I tried starting chives. It grew 3 itty bitty thin stalks. It never got, I can't begin to cut it. It never got hefty or sprouted a lot of them. So I have this little pot outside on the porch, and it has these 3. You cannot imagine how tiny slender these 3 chive stems are. It's pretty funny. You tweak mine depending on what you have, so it's not always a traditional pesto. Okay. If spinach is on the way out, yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. I probably would like that. If my spinach is on the way out, I cook it. I mean, I don't if it's already passed, but if it's looking like I'm not going to get enough of it into a salad in the next 3-4 days, I just go ahead and cook it, because you can put a whole bag of spinach into a pot and get 2 servings, and hubby doesn't eat it, but I'll eat it like that. So but the truth is, I usually just butter and salt it. I hadn't thought about maybe kind of smoothing it out a little bit and putting some garlic in there and putting that on pasta. That would work. You're back. Hello. Oh, pine nuts. I wouldn't be able to get it all, I don't think. Maybe at Trader Joe's. They kind of have California stuff. Pine nuts scare you? So I sub it usually for walnut. Why do they scare you? You mean as far as allergies? I don't put any nut in I don't make pesto. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And so all of these ingredients I really haven't thought about, because I'm not looking to use them. Nuts for me are one of 2 things: either eating or putting into cookies. That's pretty much how nuts get used at my house. And the most commonly used is pecan, because that's what hubby loves. That's about the only thing. Oh, he'll eat salted mixed nuts or peanuts. He'll eat that. I meant raw. I like raw almonds. I love raw almonds. I eat those by the handful. Holly, we're talking about pesto. It's not something I make, but Veggie does. She was telling me about it. Started out because of using basil for things. You love it? I didn't grow up with it, I guess. I never developed a taste for that much basil. You didn't discover it until you were in your 20s. Did you make it, or did somebody make it that, uh, you know, like an Italian restaurant or a chef or somebody you knew, or um, I had forgotten it traditionally uses pine nuts. Um, I have never even tried to buy pine nuts. I'm sure I could mail order them, but it's just not something I would do. If I want pasta without white or white cream sauce, without that, where I just want to season it with salt, pepper, and oregano and basil, dried. That's what I would be. I would put, a lot of butter and all of that, and stir the thin spaghetti around in it real good. I have seen that on the pasta box where they do that, and then they serve eggs on top of it. I have never done that, although I love fried eggs, and I can see it. I'm more used to mixing my fried eggs in with my grits than my pasta. There's a thing called pine mouth that you can get from pine nuts. It's basically makes everything taste like Metallica pennies for weeks. Oh, wow. Never heard of that. And you probably had it in a restaurant. Yeah. Well, pine has so much resin in the tree, you would wonder if that kind of thing is in the nut. May not taste like pine resin, turpentine, but I can see it having maybe the chemical characteristics of it. Not sure you'd like fried eggs on pasta with or without pesto. Have you ever? I don't know. That's what's on my spaghetti, my thin spaghetti box. They always show a recipe with fried eggs on top. I'm using the Kroger brand. I haven't looked for a long time. I stick my pasta in a container and throw the box away. I haven't looked for a while if it's still on there or not. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the grits are always they're not sweet. Um, they'll have butter, salt, but yep, that's my Cracker Barrel meal: fried eggs, grits, and usually biscuits and gravy, which is just like all the fats. I don't get meats though. I'm not much of a bacon or sausage person, but hubby does. Oh, fried apples. I get their fried apples. Ooh, those are good. Now there's your sugar. There's sugar in those. I make good fried apples. I just don't make it often because, again, I'm the only one that eats it, and I am putting sugar on it. And if I'm going to eat apples, I'm just going to eat an apple, right? But sometimes, if I get a lot of apples in the fall or something like that, I'll make fried apples. We still have one apple tree in the orchard, and the apple is called a Arkansas Black, and it's a keeping apple and it's a baking apple. It is not the kind of apple that you generally associate with eating, and the reason is it's hard, even ripe. It's really hard, and it's an old variety, but it keeps. Put it in a bushel basket, keep it reasonably cool but not the cold weather, and check it every now and then for any that are starting to rot and get rid of them. And I can keep a bushel of them. I don't though anymore because the tree, that was the past when the tree was really producing. The tree doesn't produce like that now. Now I work up a batch of applesauce with what I get, because I also have to share with the deer. They unfortunately can get into that orchard and sneak all the ones that are on the low branches right in the nighttime when we just don't do anything to protect the tree anymore. You like getting the grilled catfish when you go to Cracker Barrel, do you? I confess, I have never tried it. My mother-in-law had it all the time. She was a true Southern lady. But there's plenty of other things I'd rather have. I love a good piece of fish. It doesn't even have to be breaded fish that everybody likes to eat. Nice grilled fish. I don't like salmon. I like turbot and haddock and halibut. Halibut is usually what I get. And I just steam it. Soak it in milk. Steam it on top of the stove. And eat it like that. But I don't buy it often enough because the house smells like fish, and hubby hates fish. He's like, ugh. And fish has gotten very expensive. So, if it's not something that we both eat, I don't generally buy it. Not into cooking two different meals like I used to do. Buying twice the groceries. End up with twice the leftovers. It's not very practical. Last night after the movie, we went to eat at a place that we eat now and then. And I always get their flatbread pizza because they put a really good balsamic on it. Just sprinkle like that. And it doesn't have, it's flatbread with all the vegetables and a lot of cheese. It doesn't have the red sauce on it. They put the balsamic on it. Man, it's so good. It's so good. So we were eating outside, sitting on their patio, enjoying everything, thinking that, it was and the waiter came out and he says his last call. So isn't it awfully early for last call? He said, we close at 9 o'clock now. And I just saw a blurb on the news this morning. They were talking about after the pandemic and places were opening up, they went ahead and extended their hours, and they're going back to shorter hours now because of staffing. They're getting the business all through the day and everything, and they're not staying open late like they used to. So they were linking it to, I guess, some article or report that was saying that people are doing the go out and eat earlier thing anyway, that their heavier business is from like 2 to 4, which is when we always go out. We used to find that, we joked about it as a senior citizen hour, because a lot of times that's when they would have their specials. Well, the people are going, they found out about the specials, and they're going for the specials, and that it's just like the whole industry now is shifting away from late night dining. People are not coming in at 9 o'clock, to have their dinner. I thought that was interesting. I was a trend maker, and that's not true, because believe me, anybody who lives in Florida will tell you, peak of the restaurants is 11 to 3 in Florida. Everybody. They're either eating out one meal sometimes a day, and just having something light, or they don't have to cook or whatever at home. There is a lady who lives across from my mom's trailer, so we know her, of course, and they go out for breakfast every morning, and my mom told me before, when I was down there, Mom was still alive. Mom told me one time, she says, she confessed to me she doesn't know how to cook breakfast. And this was before, pre-pandemic, okay, that Mom told me this. And then when the pandemic came along and I was talking to Mom on the phone, she says, said she's having to cook breakfast at home. She didn't know how. And you're talking somebody in their late 70s never cooked breakfast. So anyway, I got a kick out of that. I was like, oh my gosh. And she's a wonderful baker. I mean, anything else, she's just a whiz in the kitchen, right? But not breakfast. Oh, looks like my music's over. I gotta find something else. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. You didn't even... Here comes some ads. I'm going to go ahead and start that over. Oh! No, I got something different. Never mind. Oh well. This will be alright. Alright.
The white is taking twice as long to spin up as the black. It's really interesting. I guess the black is actually a little thicker, less wraps per inch. I didn't really, I wasn't really worried about that. Getting it the same.
Sorry, guys, I keep yawning. Been seeing a lot of trailers for the Disney movie Haunted Mansion. Trying to decide if I want to go see it or not. Kind of looks like, I don't know. Not sure I would consider it worthy of sitting all the way through, if that makes sense. It doesn't look like it might have much of a plot, but I may be wrong.
I know on Monday we're going to go see Mission Impossible. We do want to see that one, so that's next. We're going to go see that on Monday. Beer's gonna run out before my stream does. I just have to drink water. Oh no. as I spin, of course, I'm sitting here thinking about this yarn. First of all, I have two possibilities to use this yarn for the state fair. One, of course, is to submit a skein with the unusual plying. The category is supposed to be art yarn, and I don't have anything for it because I don't usually use art yarn, or I don't make art yarn. And it doesn't quite qualify for what they think of as art yarn. So my next step was, can I get it spun, washed, and knit into a scarf? And in that scarf, I'm going to do 3 sections that show I'm not real sure how I'm going to work that out, but there are three different ways I see doing 4 bobbins, 2 black, 2 white. One is straight 4-ply, pull it up, ply it as it comes up, black and white. That's one yarn. Second yarn is do 4 single bobbins and do the chain plying, and so you have the 8-ply with that chain plied. The third variation is to take 2 black and white singles, do the chain plying twice, and then chain ply. Let me think if I can do that. The 2 together. Can I do that? If I have chain plied on 2 bobbins, I don't have a single to. So one would be, one would be the bottom layer, and the second would be the chain on top of that. But it'd be a chain plied yarn. I could do it. I just don't know what any of this would look like, and that is why I'm doing the black and white, right? I'm looking for as much distinctive definition in the colors so that I can see what the result of the ply is. Well, I can't submit 3 yarns for I cannot submit 3 yarns for the art category, and there's not other categories I could put the second and third yarn in. I can submit 1 item out of hand knit yarn, which would be knit out of the 3 yarns and show the result of the plying experiment. I just have to figure out if I have the 3 yarns, I would alternate bands. I would need more of the non-textured, which is just the 4 strands running together, and I will have less of both the 1-time chain plied and the two-time chain plied, because I will use half of the 1-time chain plied to make the 2-time chain plied. That's where it gets complicated. Not 100% sure I'm spinning enough to do that and make a scarf that is of sufficient length. I could do a cowl, but I don't know if that would really show. I wouldn't have enough to do like a wrap, which would show it good, but sometimes there's small knitted triangles that you kind of put around your neck and tuck. I mean, they're not a shawl, and they're not a cowl, and they're not a scarf. That might work. Now I gotta go look at Ravelry patterns.
I'm doing anything to not spin this white. It's beautiful merino fiber, but I'm like really bored with spinning the white. So let's see. Ravelry, what you got for me? Let's see. I'll try searching patterns. Small triangle shawls. Probably isn't going to give me what I want. Painted honeycombs wouldn't work. Easy rate. What is this? Can I get it? A pattern? Oh, it's too lacy. Wouldn't show the I need solid so it shows the texture. What's this? That's not bad. Huh. Don't choose a bulky yarn. Shawl needs to be thin. Soft and silky. That's not going to happen with this. Alright, this is a possibility. Everything's so lacy. I don't need lacy. Very small shawl is the size I was thinking about, but how much does it use? Okay, I'll save that one. Might be adaptable. Well, I've got about 4 or 5 here that are possibilities, so that's pretty good. There's a mini shawl club. How neat! You put it up. They didn't put it in a book. Huh. Okay. I have hit the end of my search here. You guys bored? All right. I'm fading fast here. I'm going to finish up this white and then call it a stream. So, got this little bit here left to do. Won't take too long. Oops, I should have divided that in thirds. I really want to submit the yarn. I wonder what would happen if I chain plied the 4 bobbins, did switch to, for, well, it's hard to guess how much, switch to all 4 bobbins long length, take that bobbin, bring the chain ply out, and chain ply another 4 with it, and then end with, I was just going to say all 4, but maybe I need to, so yeah, it's kind of hard when you have 3, figure out what goes where. If I do chain ply, then all 4, and then when I put that bobbin on, all 4 will come out, I gotta think about this some more. Oh, I got it. So I'm going to do all 4, do the 4 chain ply, and then I'm going to do all 4 and 4 chain ply, and then I'm going to take the bobbin, and that last
Well, I want to end with all four, so I have that as the ending. And then take that bobbin, run the one I don't want to do anything with through real quick, get to the chain ply, double chain ply it, and run the rest through or wind it off. I won't, it just, if I can do it without adding twist, I can just wind it off. Hang on, I gotta write this down. So, all four lines. Four chain ply. You don't understand what you're talking about, but I'm very curious about seeing the end results. Me too. Me too. May totally not have. The only thing is, with black and white, I'm not going to make mud, right? If I had multiple colors and I did this, we call it mud, but it's like painting, you know. You put too many colors in there, you get brown and black, right? And I call that making mud. I'm not going to get that with the black and white. There's only one little bit in there I'm not 100% sure I can do, and that's the double chain ply. So we'll find out after I get these four bobbins spun. Sorry, Holly, I was really talking to myself. I forget that somebody's probably listening. Oh, I missed a double wool. I don't even know what a double wool looks like. Oh, excuse me, I am so sleepy. I gotta see what a Pokemon double looks like. Oh, cute sheep. Oh, so cute. I wish I'd gone for that. Oh well, I was busy thinking. You were listening, made you want to know more. Yeah. Well, I'm talking about ways to ply. Normal way to ply is to take two bobbins, grab each end of each bobbin and put it through the spinning wheel. That makes a 2-ply. I'm working with 4 bobbins, so if I grab each end of one of each of the 4 bobbins ends and run it in together, that makes a 4-ply. That's one way to make the 4-ply. Another way to make a 4-ply is called chain plying. And another way that I've never seen done is to take yarn that's already chain plied and chain ply it again. That's it in a nutshell. That's what I'm talking about trying for a skein for the state fair. And then I was talking about maybe making a scarf out of it to show off the different plies. But my problem is I can't use the yarn for entering the state fair and knit with it. I have to put one or the other in the fair. I got plenty more white. I suppose I may have I don't know if I have the black Shetland yarn, but if it's already made into yarn, that doesn't help me as far as another true black. I don't think I have any more of this Black Welsh Mountain. Thank you. I appreciate that. Could you knit with it after the fair and enter a scarf next year? Absolutely. That's very much so what I can do and will do if I enter the yarn. It's a question of whether I want to try and enter the yarn, or if I don't like the yarn or it doesn't exactly work out the way I think, I'll knit the scarf. Because I've already found about 6 possible patterns that would probably show off 3 different textures. The 3 different yarns. It's not a scarf. I did small triangle, right? So it can just be wrapped around and tucked if it doesn't go across your shoulders. Some of them, of course, are regular shawls. I don't know if I'll have the yardage for that. I'll have to wait and see. The thing is, to enter the yarn in the state fair means I put all of the 3 together in one yarn. But to knit 3 different textures on a shawl means I really ought to have 3 different yarns. Because, you know, the textured part goes for a certain amount. You need a certain amount of yarn. And I best if I really wanted to be successful with that for the shawl, I would look at the yardage and plan ahead before I applied, so I knew I was getting the yardage for the right for the shawl. So yeah, I got to think about it a little bit yet and figure out what I want to do. This is how this really is an insight on the way my brain works with creative projects and spinning and making specific yarn and that whole thing. I wonder if outside kitty got fed tonight. Make sure I check before I go to bed. I'll be on tomorrow morning, 10 to 12. I'll be on Saturday morning, 10 to 12. And then Sunday will be my regular afternoon, 1 to 3 p.m. That'll be the last day of my Tour de Fleece stint. I'll be back to my 3 days a week. I won't go back to crafting on Tuesdays until I get back from Florida. So it'll be sometime mid-August. I'll start getting back into the Tuesday crafting streams. I got some, I think they're Christmas cards to finish painting up. I'll get those done for this year. And the last of the, I gotta figure out how to finish the ornament that I cross-stitched. So that'll be a project. And the third thing I'm sort of hoping to finish this year is the Bargello pillow top that I got in an auction lot, mostly done. I just want to even it out so it's square and then sew it to a backing. I may not be doing that on stream. Oh, time to move my hook here. I think I missed a hook.
And sometimes you don't know if something will work until you try it, yeah. You go through that a lot with making your ornaments. I try all sorts of floss, beads, crystals, charms. Oh, yeah. If I don't like it, I take it apart and do something different. That's right. I hate unstitching, but you absolutely want to do, save the extras that are on it. Oh, wow.
It is warm in here. Whew. I say that every stream. I think I must get it from sitting at the computer here, or I don't know. The air is not running.
It is 81 degrees outside at 9 o'clock. 81 degrees and sunny.
Unless that didn't update. Sometimes I need to go
down here and hit it and say, hey, pay attention. And it didn't change.
So, it's warm in here. I have a little fan. I haven't had it out for a long time. Gotta put it away when it got cold. Kind of have a limited amount of plug-in space to plug things in. As you know, if I really right now I can only plug 2 things in. I have my cameras plugged into the computers, so I don't have any extra there. But everybody has their different creative process. That's what the word creative means, isn't it? The process of making something exist. Oh man, if I didn't have my crafts, I'd go crazy. I don't know what I'd get into. It's hard telling. But I grew up with a family that was creative. My dad was a electrical engineer. He always was sitting at a drafting table, drawing. Um, my mom sewed, my grandma knit, crocheted. Everybody was making something come to life with their finger, creating something. World domination. No.
I don't have an evil enough laugh. I can't be a world dominator. I don't have an evil laugh. Having just gone to the movie with a villain intent on world domination. That's what the Indiana Jones had in it. Two down and two to go here. So we'll be back to spinning the black tomorrow. At this rate, I might be trying to make this yarn on Sunday. Don't know. Alrighty. I'm not going to raid anybody tonight. I don't feel like sitting up and staying here. And that's what I like to do if I raid. So, I am going to say adieu. And see you soon. I will be back in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, until then, take care. Have a good night's sleep, everybody. And thank you for hanging out with me, Holly. And hang on there. It's a veggie. Appreciate you. So, bye.